So AH just made a huge mistake. Why? Because she's targeting and attacking the businesses that didn't stand with her during the Virginia trial. But this, it points out just how many places saw what she was doing, thought it was absurd, and they called her out and stood with JD. You talk about instantly backfiring here. We're talking about recognizable businesses too. Businesses like Redbox, for example, that joined in the laugh track saying, JD, he didn't have scissors for hands. You're telling me that's all fake? Or Starbucks, whom AH is interestingly targeting because, get this, they put out tip jars. They received tips over who they would back, JD or AH. Why? Because you know the votes, they didn't go her way. Now, what's even better about this is that the mainstream media, they're wrecking themselves as well. Why? Because they stand with this move, not understanding just how bad this looks. I mean, targeting the lowest wage employees at a Starbucks or targeting other businesses that stood with a man that a jury agreed with. Yeah, I mean, that's not good at all. You and I, we are going to talk about this today. Oh man, fun times, huh? Fun times indeed. All right, so hey there to all you fine folks on this fine day, by the way. I hope you were doing excellently. Talk about instant karma. Like I've been saying, AH is going to go out, she's going to target and attack anyone she feels was responsible for losing in the court and the court of social media, and that includes businesses. The problem is, when you start attacking dozens and dozens of businesses, what this says is that people saw right through you. They overwhelmingly endorsed JD. Yeah, trying to shame Etsy, trying to shame Starbucks, trying to shame Melania Cosmetics, and so many more. Oh man, that might not be the best move. Now, some of this, I mean, it backfires even worse on the media and AH because of who is being targeted in this. Like Starbucks, for example, which I mentioned earlier. If you look at the write-up here, it's not Starbucks, the company, that's being targeted. It's the employees that work there. Employees that are asking for tips. They found a way to get donations. AH is trying to get them fired for it. Listen to this, quote, another tweet in the thread took aim at Starbucks. Quote, Starbucks stores all over the world place tip jars labeled JD and AH, encouraging their customers to quote unquote vote, usually decorating JD's jars with hearts, and some even wrote, quote, justice for JD. This controversy, it wasn't a controversy, by the way, when this stuff was put out. People unanimously backed it. They're just trying to pretend otherwise. But this controversy sparked fierce debate on social media early this year as various videos posted online showed two competing tip jars with celebrity names written on them. Starbucks responded to the situation back in April, telling Newsweek that the tip jars were not in line with the company's policies, aka let's get the people who need tips in Starbucks fired. Oh man, I mean, again, talk about entitlement. Talk about coming off not looking good at all. Along that same theme, and equally embarrassing in my opinion, is AH targeting and attacking Etsy sellers. These are individuals making crafts in their spare time, you know, with hyperinflation and whatnot going on. And you can tell that they're trying to get these folks banned here too. You can see it right here. Etsy has done nothing about it, aka we want these folks banned. And what's interesting in their quote is they would end up getting not only people supporting JD, but also people supporting AH banned in this as well. What's equally fascinating is that Newsweek is admitting that they're trying to get people banned too. They reached out for contact from Etsy. So essentially, they want Etsy to denounce these folks, which means if they're denouncing them, again, they would be banning them. Yeah, I mean, that says plenty about not only AH and the entitlement shown, but also Newsweek that also profited from this. I mean, that's the dirty little secret they want to leave out. They profited from the trial, too. Now, along with that has to be the instant regret of reminding people of some of the things that happened in trial they may have forgotten, like Milani Cosmetics, for example. If you remember, during the opening, you had Elaine hold up a color wheel. She said, "This is what my client used when she was with JD." You also had AH bring it up, and then later on she had to deflect away from it because Milani Cosmetics called them out. How did they call them out? Well, they said, "That's our product first and foremost. We recognize it. You couldn't have been using it with JD either." How do we know that? Well, the product, it was made in 2017. Your divorce was finalized in 2016. Now, what AH is mad about here is that the call out, it got millions of hits. It also, according to them, encouraged, quote unquote, millions of people to participate in a smear campaign against her, aka the world saw. And now they're reminding the world again. Yeah, millions of people. They knew exactly what happened. Now, there are other reminders in this, too. Reminders that, well, them bringing that up, it just brings up the laugh track again. This is about the Dateline NBC interview that AH put together, the lowest rated Dateline NBC interview they had all year, mind you. When she was being interviewed, she brought up JD, said he convinced the world that he had scissors for fingers. Guess what? People worldwide, they laughed at this because it was so absurd. When you look at the quote here, too, from Redbox, I mean, that says plenty. Redbox is getting involved. Dozens of other companies, they laughed at this as well, but it wasn't them alone doing it. I mean, look at the likes on this. 21,900 likes, almost 3,000 retweets. Yeah, maybe reminding people of this, that wasn't the smartest call at all. What's even better about this is the mainstream media endorsing this move, it's going after potential advertisers. The mainstream media, they are already falling apart. They can't afford to lose money or potential money, yet here they are, all because they want to get that AHPR money. Oh man, what a mess. You gotta love it, right? Failing and utterly. But anyway, let me know what you think about this stuff, and as always, appreciate the heck out of you. You make this stuff work. Thank you. Links are in the description, too. You want to help out the channel? We could always use your help, but you being here, that is the biggest help of all. Thank you. Appreciate you. Going to end right here. Thank you again. See you soon.